Hello again, guys. It's Gregola Productions here, back again with another video. And today we're going to be checking out this Lux Minute Minder timer clone. At least I'm thinking that's what this is. It's got a Lux Minute Minder design, but, you know, you look at that and you go, oh, it's a Minute Minder, but there's no Lux or Robert Shaw anything on this anywhere. And plus, it looks like it's not that old. That's the impression I'm getting out of this. So I wonder who made this. I wonder what the packaging would have looked like, or what the deal was there. So I'm going to guess maybe like 2010 or something like that, because you can still buy the Lux Minute Minder. You can still buy that timer. Of course, I have no idea, comparing an old movement to a new movement, what those would look like, but you can still buy it. Lux has miraculously survived the course of everything. And this product is still for sale with their name on it. And I have been very tempted for the longest time to try and get one, or go on eBay and pay a really stupid price for an old Lux Minute Minder. Maybe buying an older one is worth my time more so than the newer ones. Again, I don't know how they've degraded it or how they've changed it, or maybe they're all the exact same for all I know. But this, if this was the real deal, it would actually say Lux on it somewhere. It would give me some indicator of what's going on here. Any older Minute Minder I look at on eBay, the bell is a completely different design than this one. And the movement appears to be different. I think that it only says turn clockwise to 30 or something like that. Or turn counterclockwise, or whichever way. The point is, this is a different thing here. And what's interesting, I think, is they've copied the red arrow on the top, and I think only the oldest Minute Minders from 1938 or whenever the Minute Minder came out have that red arrow. I think all the newer ones from the 50s and onward have a black arrow, but I could be wrong about that. Again, Lux Minute Minders and just kitchen timers in general are things I'd like to look more into because they are very interesting, at least to me. Now, if we look at our spectacular movement here, we can see it's made of plastic. I don't know if the older ones or newer ones are made of plastic. Steel pivots. We've got our alarm mechanism here, or our ringing mechanism. This thing runs for 60 minutes on one winding. And of course, if you want to adjust it, you just turn the dial to whichever way you want to go. And here she is. All these gears are made of plastic, and I'm not too concerned about servicing this because this may have self-lubricating properties. That balance wheel is running at a really nice pace. The hairspring has been glued in. It's interesting, the point we've come to in plastic engineering, where we can actually build a clock movement completely out of plastic, or timer movement at least. No adjuster for the hairspring. There's no regulator there. Because this only runs for 1 hour. And it's running at a great speed, or running at a great amplitude there. Let's see if our spring barrels or how our springs are doing here, or spring. Okay, so it looks like, unlike some of the other timers that I've worked on, there's actually like a spring barrel here, where the spring gets coiled into that. It looks like both springs have that. There's a place you put the spring into, and then you put the wheels on. And this is not riveted together, so it can be taken apart, or it's not fused together, or whatever. There's the hammer. Yeah, no, these little machines are just full of character. I mean, why in the heck would you want to use your digital timers on anything? Really, I mean, okay, digital timers have their uses, but in terms of cooking, why would you want to use a digital timer versus this one? I know you can set them to 2 or 3 hours if need be or whatever, but for most of your basic timer needs, this will probably do the trick. I don't know. I think these just have way more character. These are so much more fun. Now here's something interesting. We almost see where this thing is made, and it looks like our spring barrel, whatever this piece here, has been adhered onto here somehow. And it says, and like it says M, and then it looks like A. Well, it could possibly be an A there. And then it says made, I'm going to assume that's made in, and then Roscana. You've also got a number 1 here, and a number 8 over here. Very interesting, just the lack of any information on this. And I think this thing is more or less like your timer movements you see at Walmart. I don't think there's that big of a difference here. You've got your balance wheel and everything. A lot of people, or a lot of the older timers I've noticed, use a, well, from the timers I've seen anyway, use sort of a balance wheel, escape wheel cross, where the gear train ends here, and then instead of a escape wheel and pallet fork and hairspring and all that, there's actually just a wheel in there that looks like a balance wheel, but it's got 2 pins on it like a pallet fork. And it does the exact same thing as these 3 parts combined, or these 3 parts. It's literally these 3 parts combined. It does the exact same task. There's a timer I'm thinking of that has that design. We'll have to look at that at some point. But yeah, no, this is a subject I'd like to get into more. I don't see really anyone doing anything with it on YouTube, except for Pin Pallet 20 and maybe a select few other people. But yeah, this thing weighs nothing. Just a piece of plastic, smash it with a hammer. No. And the problem with this particular movement is the fact that our support pillars have broken off and it's not holding itself in the case anymore. So again, plastic moment. Hopefully I can glue them back on. I know I'm missing one of them for sure, but the other one I have. One of them was already broken by the time I got a hold of this. So anyway, this has proved to be more or less reliable since I've been using it. And I can't really complain other than the fact that I would have liked to have seen just a higher quality movement. You know, I'd be interested to see what the old Lux timers look like on the inside if anyone's played around with any of that stuff. Again, this is all sort of consumer grade horology, really, where everyone just kind of threw everything out when they were done with it. They'd never take a timer to a jeweler unless it was something really spectacular. Not back in the day, and definitely not now. Yeah, made in Roscana, maybe? If that's a place that exists, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what countries start with Roscana or Roscana or whatever. I don't know. I've never heard of that place. But anyway, that's the Lux Minute Minder clone. Not really too much else to say here. Lots of mystery. And hopefully I can get those pillars glued back on. And hopefully they actually stay on this time. The glue I was using wasn't really working all that well. So anyways, guys, if you're interested in timers, stick around because I should be finding more of these things as time goes on and just kind of taking a second to document them because they are interesting, aren't they? I don't know, such a basic invention, you know, that's basically an alarm clock that's been downgraded into a 60-minute timer for cooking use or whatever you want. And as for the actual Lux Minute Minders, I do want to get one. I do want to get a new one or an old one or one of the Robert Shaw era ones. Depends what I find, but I've seen none of that stuff in my time looking for it. So anyways, guys, hope you learned something here and maybe one of you recognizes this from somewhere. So thanks, guys.